actually fix it? No. Hi guys! Welcome to my bedroom. It looks a bit plain from this angle, but mostly everything I have is on that side of the camera. I don't know if you guys have been watching me or have known me for a little bit now. I am brunette now. I was blonde for about 4 years. This is quite a dramatic change for me. I haven't been on the dark side since 2016, so it's been a while. I like the change. It's definitely something that I wanted because I think everyone was just really used to seeing me with blonde hair, and it just became sort of part of my identity. I'm happy I made the change. I was a bit shocked at first because I thought it looked really dark, especially when your hair's wet. I was just like, oh my god, it's black. It looks a bit darker now because we're indoors, but it's pretty light in the sun and it will continue to wash out. So I told him, look, it's okay if it looks dark now. I do want it to be lighter. And he said, yeah, of course, like it's just the toner, so it will get lighter after a couple of washes. I trust my hairdresser. He is a godsend. I've been going to him for the past year and a half. If you're interested in going to a hair colorist, who will take his time with you and really tells you how to keep your hair healthy when you're bleaching it. And I really like him because he just doesn't do things for money. He's very down to earth and humble. So if you're from Western Sydney, this is his page. If you're interested in getting your hair colored, I trust him with my hair, and like I'm very sensitive about my hair. If you ruin my hair, I'm gonna keep it super candid. I did write a few notes that I will be touching on today, just so I don't miss out on the important things that I wanted to talk about. I will be making a video diary of my journey with BBR and how I'm finding it, and just my personal experience with the program. And it could be insightful to some of you who may be interested in doing any program, I guess. Maybe nostalgic for those who have done one. Week 1. I'm currently about to finish week 2. So week 1, how was week 1? Okay, just to get started, my reflection on week 1 was very good. Overall, I think I was very happy with the experience. I liked the exercises. I found the exercises somewhat familiar. Most of them have been exercises I've done in the past, and there were a couple that were new to me, especially working with bands, especially doing glutes. I never used to just solely focus on glutes. It was a really good transition for me because that's pretty much why I wanted to join a program. I wanted to try different things. I'm very happy with how she's sectioned and categorized the workouts, and they're mostly based and focus on upper body or lower body or cardio. So many of the muscle groups are integrated. So for example, if you do upper body, you'll most likely work arms, back, shoulders in one workout or one day basically. You do a little bit of finishing exercises, which is core workouts. So that's really fun. Not for me. I'm still getting used to doing core exercises. I'm not the best at core exercises yet. I think honestly, the weakest part of my physique is my core. Surprisingly, I thought I would be a bit better with my core because it is such an important muscle group to keep everything together, especially when you are doing compound exercises like squats and deadlifts. But yeah, okay, so the difficulty of week 1 was towards the end of week 1. I was enjoying the meal plans, and I still am. I love the food that she has included in the app. So the only, I don't want to call it an issue, I guess the only challenge for me towards the end of week 1 was hitting my macros. I'll actually pull up my macros so you guys can get a better understanding. Hitting my macros was challenging towards the end of week 1 because I started to get a little bit bored of some of the food, specifically salmon. So I used to eat salmon as if it was a treat, not an everyday meal, but because of the program, I've had to adapt and overcome to survive. I've had to eat salmon almost every single day, and in the beginning I was like, oh my god, this is so good and I love, this is such a luxury. And towards the end of week 1 I'm like, it just it just felt like it started becoming a chore, and it felt really bad because I really like eating. I love to eat food just in general, and the fact that my body was starting to reject it, I was like, no, it's so early, like it's only week 1 and my body's already like rejecting something, and it's salmon. So the good thing though is that we have check-ins. We had a check-in in week 2, and this is an opportunity for us to let the BBR team know how we're going in the program, keeping us accountable as well, which is really important. And we can be honest about the food that we're consuming, if we like it, if we want to change anything. My friend Sam, she's also doing the program, the same one that I'm doing. Oh my god, I should have mentioned, I'm doing bikini build. If you guys aren't aware, I'm doing the bikini build program. And my friend Sammy, she also got really bored of salmon, so she told the BBR team for her check-in that she wanted to switch around a few things, and they adjusted some of her meal plans based on what she was desiring. And they're very accommodating, but sometimes there's just some things that you can't change altogether. I guess that you can change the way that you make it, but salmon is so dense in protein. I think that's why we are recommended to eat it, just to make sure we're hitting our macros. So the issue with me hitting my macros towards the end of week 1, in the beginning I never really had a big appetite, and I still am adjusting to eating 1,750 calories per day. I'd say on average I would eat about 1,500 up to 1,750. On some days I'm just not hungry as much as I am compared to other days. So on those days where I'm not hungry, it feels like I'm in a surplus where I'm just consuming more than I need to. My body hasn't adjusted to that yet, and my appetite hasn't grown. I need to eat no more than 1,750 calories, and I have to hit just around that mark, no less, no more. And we have to track what we're eating just to make sure that it is accounting for all the macros that we need to consume in a day. Calories are basically your nutritional value that you find in food. So basically calories depends on your BMI, your body mass, or your body index, also your age, your height, sex, lifestyle. So calories are basically a unit of energy for nutrition. So we find energy by consuming food. The macros that we eat are the nutritional value that you find in food. So you have proteins, fats, carbohydrates, and also fiber. My macros for each day is to hit, let me pull it up. Every day I need to eat 140 grams of protein, 50 grams of fat, 185 grams of carbs, and 30 grams of fiber. So it doesn't sound like it's hard, but to be consistent with this every day, trying to stick to the meal plan that we've been given, my body is slowly rejecting some of the things that are needed to help me hit my macros. And honestly, my appetite is just not growing. So that's where I'm beginning to struggle. I've noticed I haven't been craving meat recently, so that has affected my protein intake. So I've had to look for protein elsewhere. I've started to eat yogurt a lot. I've started to eat tofu a lot. I've been drinking whey protein a lot. Recently, I've only been hitting about 1,550 or 1,600. So I'm just shy of 1,750, but it's hard. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just hard eating the same thing every day. And I don't want it to sound like that's what the program is, because it's not. There's so many resources to use in the app that we have access to. I think my flaw is not using the app to its full potential, so that's where I need to improve in. I need to use the app more and find out what else I can eat if I'm not happy with the meal plans that I have. I still need to do my check-in as well. I haven't done it yet because I've been so busy. I'll do my check-in tonight just to let them know that I may need to substitute salmon for something else, so that way I can start craving the food again later on. Oh, okay. And also another thing that happened in week 1, I pretty much self-diagnosed myself because I didn't get to go to a doctor yet. I self-diagnosed myself, and based on my symptoms, I have a condition called chilblains. So chilblains tends to happen every colder season, like winter, and it's when your joints start to become inflamed. So it hasn't been happening on my hands, but it's been occurring in my feet area, and I'm so sorry for disclosing that, but I'm gonna be super transparent on my experience, and it hasn't been delightful. It's been pretty painful, to be honest, and it's affected the way I've been walking, the way I've been exercising. Wearing shoes is painful. I can't emphasize how painful on some days it feels like wearing shoes that are 2 sizes smaller for you, and it just feels like your toes are cramped and they're sore, they're aching, and I was just like, this is so random. Like, how did this happen to me? I told Josh, I was like, I think I have arthritis, and he was like, you're only 22, and then I'm like, no, like, this hurts, like it's unusually painful. I looked up the photos of chilblains, and it's pretty much identical to what I have. So it slowly started to go away. It says that it takes days to weeks in order for it to resolve on its own. You can get medication if you want to, just to help you relieve with the itchiness or the pain. I don't have that much of an itchiness, just more pain. So that was really interesting. I still feel it now when I do high intensity workouts. So that's affected the way I've been training. It didn't heavily affect my program. I was still able to train. It was just inconvenient. I just didn't want to do particular exercises because I knew that it was going to trigger the pain in my feet. So that was lovely. So another thing about the program is getting used to this new lifestyle for the next 8 weeks. I can go out only once a week without feeling guilty that going to affect my progress. So I do have 1 active rest day. I'm working out 6 days a week for the next 8 weeks. On my rest day, I still have to be careful on what I'm eating. I don't want to call it a cheat day because I don't want it to be I just feel like it may develop this negative relationship with food, whereas I'm cheating. No, I'm not eating properly, or I have to be so conscious about what I'm eating, where I'm going, or what I'm doing. I just want to call it a rest day. On my rest days, I still track what I'm eating just to make sure that I'm not going above my calorie intake. It's been hard to make adjustments to family and friends because restrictions are starting to ease down, and COVID in Sydney, I've heard it's pretty bad in Victoria at the moment. So if you're from Victoria, I hope you're okay. But in Sydney, like, we finally get to go out a little bit more. We still have social distancing rules, but we can go out and sit in restaurants and cafes and socialize a little bit more. Because of that reason, people are starting to see their friends and family, and I've had to say no to certain, you know, opportunities where I get to hang out with people because of this program. And I just tell them, look, it's really bad timing. I've started this program and it will be a thing for the next 8 weeks, but I'll try to squeeze you in like 2 weeks time or 3 weeks time. So I've had to make so many adjustments just to see people, and luckily my friends and family are so patient with me and they understand. They don't make me feel bad at all. I think I was the one who felt more bad because deep down I knew I wanted to go out and, you know, have a drink and go out and eat whatever, but this program is so important to me and I don't want anything to compromise that at the moment because firstly, I paid for the program, so I don't want my money to go to waste, and 2, it's the first time ever in my fitness journey that I am doing something that is out of my comfort zone, I guess. Everything up until now has been self-knowledge and bits and pieces from everywhere and just making it my own, but now I'm following this program where I'm learning so much, and it's only been a week and a half. There's a big ass community behind it, which is so awesome. Like, it's crazy how big the community is. There's a Facebook group for it and we can talk about our own experiences and how we feel, and it's so reassuring because this is something that has been affecting my mindset lately, and that is my bloating. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh my god, yes, morning skinny, but after 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm like, oh, she's tubby. Yeah, I just feel so tubby. I just feel like I'm getting stronger in the gym. I feel good about myself, but then when I look at myself in the mirror and I wear my gym clothes, I'm like, am I delusional? Like, why do I feel good but I look like, it just doesn't, I just feel like I don't look my best at the moment, and kind of sucks because I've never been too conscious about my body image, but today, for the first time in a while, I weighed myself on the scale, and I usually don't let it affect me because I do think the scale can misinterpret a lot of things, especially about your body. Clearly that mindset wasn't effective today because it did get to me. I usually weigh around 57 kilos, 56, 57, and today when I weighed myself after having two meals and a snack in the day, to give you an idea what I've eaten so far before weighing myself, and it was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I weighed myself and I was 61 kilos, and that's not bad. Firstly, I'm not putting down my weight, it's just a weight I haven't seen in a while. I haven't been 61 kilos or 60 kilos since high school, and seeing that number, it just didn't frighten me, it just shocked me. I just didn't know if I was doing anything wrong, or if my body was, you know, adapting or changing, or it's hormones, or it's just being a woman. And like, I think there's just so much that can factor into the way you feel and look in a day. I could feel so differently tomorrow, but today I don't know, I just didn't feel my best after seeing that. It got to me a little bit when I was doing my exercises. You could see in some of the videos I was just trying to get into the mindset. I think that's also another thing that's been so challenging about this program. Honestly, the physical side of it has been so satisfying and rewarding. I think that's where I'm flourishing the most, but the biggest challenge for week 1 has been this mental battle with yourself, and I don't know how to explain it. Pretty much when I tried doing some of the exercises and I started to get tired, my body will immediately try and cheat. I'll tell myself, like, I don't know, it's like, I think I know what people mean now when they say that you can hear a voice inside your head and it tells you, you don't need to complete this, or we can do this tomorrow, we don't have to do this now, we can try not as hard, maybe we can just go a bit lighter, or we can, you know, anything to not get the job done properly. And it's just insane. I'm just like, whoa. I think it's just insane that your body will literally try and cheat, and it's antagonizing. It's just, you're like, out of all people, why am I telling me to not do what's good for me? I just wished I was a bit more encouraging to myself. I just wished I was more motivating. I wish I was more resilient, and I guess, you know, looking forward to, you know, the pain and the soreness, and, you know, getting through all the reps and the exercises. At the end of each day of week 1, I managed to get through everything, but in between everything, I can say that the voice inside my head was always telling me to drop the weight or go to the next one. I guess pretty much coming out of week 1, mostly everything has been amazing. The experience, the journey so far, and going into week 2, knowing what's expected of me now and how I can keep myself accountable. The biggest challenge for me so far is this psychological battle with myself to make sure that I am going to stay consistent with everything, and I just need to make sure I'm eating properly, I'm exercising correctly. I've heard from a lot of people, if you are trying to get into exercise, you need a why. You need to know why you're in the gym and why you're doing it in the first place, and that will keep you motivated and consistent. If you don't have a why, you'll start to question a lot of things, and the self-doubt will come along the way, and your confidence in the gym will start to deteriorate. So I think it's really important to know why you're doing this in the first place and why you have decided to commit to this program. I need to remember that myself. I need this year, just because this year has been so weird, and 2020 is just indescribable. The reason why I wanted to start this program is because I really want to see what I can do. Everything will be self-made because I'm the one who's going to be eating properly. I'm the one who's going to be doing the exercises. Yes, I have all these resources that can help me, but at the end of the day, if I choose not to, you know, follow these recommendations, that's my own fault. And the only way for me to be consistent and stay on top of this new commitment of mine is to make sure that I am being 100% into this. My why is to know that if I'm giving myself, I guess, a goal, I want to see how far I can go and how much I can push myself, especially about something I'm so passionate about. Like, I really want to better my fitness and my health, and now I want to develop this stronger mindset towards my fitness, because psychologically it's been so difficult just trying to overcome some of the things that I thought were going to be easy. And I know it sounds a bit vague, but it's just the little things that get to you. Not eating enough, not exercising properly. But yeah, with bloating, I think bloating has to do with my period coming up. I have an app on my phone and it tells me when my period is supposed to come up. I'm hoping when my period comes, hopefully the bloating will slowly minimize. I actually read this thing on Facebook. Thankfully, I'm not alone. Some girls are going through the same thing as well. So someone made this post. Her name's Daisy, and this is on the Bodies by Rachel personal training forum. She wrote, "Is anyone else getting really bloated since starting their meal guide or workout plan? It's been like this almost since I first started, and it's really frustrating having this discomfort in my stomach. I know I should be trusting the process, but feeling bloated every day is getting to me. I'm on lose fat, gain muscle, eating 1700 calories a day, a little more than I'm used to, but manageable." So very similar to my experience. She is trying to trust the process, but it's so hard to feel good in the gym, but then when you look at yourself in the mirror, or you look at, you know, the clothes that you're wearing, you're like, is it working? Not putting any, you know, what you look like down at all, like just in general. It's just, I'm being completely transparent and honest here. For girls, I don't know if I can speak for everyone, but for myself, based on what I've read, us girls, our bodies can change really drastically in a day or in a week, imagine a month. It's just hard knowing that we are making this big commitment, and it will be a commitment for the next 8 weeks. And starting off this program and just not feeling yourself and not being confident with the way you look, it can really hurt your self-esteem. I completely understand where some of these girls are coming from, because I guess we're kind of hungry to see the results, especially when we are starting to see people who are posting, you know, results already. It's somewhat intimidating, and we're not trying to compare ourselves to those girls, but we just want that to happen to us as well. Reason why we've made this commitment, we want to be stronger physically and mentally. There's one person who replied to the post that Daisy made, and she said, "I had this on my first challenge. Your body is adjusting and it will adjust. When mine finally did about week 3, I felt so healthy. Since carrying it on and hitting those macros, I don't crave bingy foods like I used to, and I am enjoying the balance. It's the first time in my life I've felt this way. The bloat will go down, try not to panic. It takes longer for your body to digest the good stuff and process all those nutrients, and once you get used to doing that, you will feel great and the bloat will work itself out." This was so reassuring to read. I just hope this happens to me soon. If not, I might have to try and adjust my meals. I have this theory I might be sensitive to gluten. Sometimes I feel really tubby after I eat pasta, bread, or just carbs in general. At the moment, I am eating gluten-free bread. I'm slowly trying to transition into a gluten-free diet just to see if it is gluten that is making me bloated. There's a lot of theories here and there, but overall, yeah, week 1, it's been very, you know now by the end of week 1 what's expected of you, and everything that we need is in the app, or we can contact BBR directly via email or the web chat if we have any questions. Week 1, I just want to know that everything that I've learned so far will be used for the next following weeks. The exercises stay the same, mostly. You can also change some of the exercises if you're a bit bored of it as well. There's other options for you to choose from, and that's really cool. That's a really cool feature. You can switch between exercises that are similar to each other and they focus on the same muscle group. It keeps it enjoyable and, you know, different. It's almost like, you know, not getting used to the food that you're eating. It's the same with exercising. You want to try different things as well, just so it doesn't feel redundant. I think that's pretty much it. Overall, look, I loved week 1. The experience was amazing, and it still is amazing. Week 2, it just feels like, okay, now I know what I need to do. I think that's pretty much it. So stay tuned. I will be keeping you guys updated weekly based on my experience. I'll let you know how week 2 goes, but week 1, I just want to say thank you so much to the BBR team for being so supportive for us girls who are going through this for the first time, and thank you to the girls in the group who have gone through this, and you've been so insightful with your experiences just for us who don't know what to expect or what to do. Thank you to everyone who's been so supportive of my journey and just this platform. Thank you so much. Keep you guys updated throughout everything. Follow my Instagram if you want to stay updated with my program. But overall, thank you for listening. I'm gonna go now. I'm super tired. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.